I'm so ATL. I'm so ATL.
Mara Brock Akil.
Oh, she made Girlfriends.
Bingo. Girlfriends, The Game, Love Is, and Now Forever.
Love is walking together.
Did you ever watch that
Love
show?
is
It had one
talking
season. It was so
together.
good.
What is?
Love Is. It had one season, but it was so phenomenal.
I don't think I watched it, but I did see like it out.
Yeah. Actually,
The Game was my shit, actually, though.
The Game was everybody's shit, my boy.
Remember when I was dating that girl in high school?
Which one?
I only dated one girl in high school.
Natalia, right? You talking about
Oh, Natalia, yeah. So, like, when we had broke up when I transferred schools type shit. Mm-hmm. And she came to me, like, one day. That's when, like, The Game was, like, really big. And she was just like, I think we're going to be, like, Derwin and Melanie. And I got the ick when she said that shit, bro. I did everything I could to sabotage that shit. Self-sabotage is real. I swear to God it is.
You should have saved that for this.
Oh, I might still clip it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to clip it.
Okay. Are we recording right now?
Yeah.
Oh. I was trying to find...
walking together.
Dang,
Love is talking together. I needed this coffee. Thank you, coffee.
You're a big coffee drinker? You are.
Man, I've really been on matcha lately.
I'm a
matcha
I still
nigga
haven't
now.
tasted matcha. So what is matcha?
Matcha is like a green tea like extract that's like ground together. I can't give you like the scientific like explanation of what it is, but it's supposed to be a better solution, better option than like coffee because like there's like this like I think it's like L-theanine or whatever the fuck it's called, and essentially what that does, it regulates the caffeine that you get. So you know how caffeine hits you like instantly? Matcha throughout the day, it kind of like supplies like caffeine throughout the day.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not a big coffee person.
I'm gonna tell you now, it can be bitter. You definitely gotta sweeten it.
Well,
Get
just
it like,
the look of it being so green, I'm like, eh.
I
But
felt the same way.
I stopped drinking coffee for like a long time, but now I'm kind of back drinking like iced coffees here and there because I had some long days, and so Circle K got the best iced coffee.
Circle K?
Yeah, you heard me. Them gas station coffee go crazy. Instead of going to Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, all that, let me plug you into that. Circle K is where it's at. And they got this thing called a Sip and Save.
Sip and Save.
Sip and Save. So basically, you could pay $6 for the month, $7 for the month.
And get free coffee?
Or any fountain drink for that matter.
I got a coffee machine in here now, so I just go there.
Well, that's smart too. But just think about it though, for those people that go to Starbucks every week, multiple times a week.
Yeah.
You spending, over like $30 a month on just coffee when you could spend $6 and it tastes just as great, if not better, at Circle K.
Free plug. Yo.
Free promo.
Yo.
All right, well, we're here.
Welcome. Welcome. Hey, welcome back. We're back.
Oh, I thought you were going to do that.
Oh, no, I'm not doing that. I still, we done did like, this is our 19th episode and I still don't know how to. Hey, welcome to Plugged In, where we plugged into all things sports, culture, and what?
Lifestyle.
Yes, sir. and this is our outlet.
I feel like that's what you get. That's what you get. Because I feel like you're trying to mock me a little bit.
I was, low key. But hey, we're back. Hey, I'm Cam B.
I am Sierra.
And welcome. Nah, all jokes aside, man, let's go ahead and get right into it, man. How's your mental?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm doing pretty good. It's been a very, very long week. And next week's gonna feel even longer. I gotta travel again, but yeah, man, I can't complain. God has been blessing me. So had some great conversations this week, and we'll see where life takes me.
On a scale of 1 to 10, like 1 being like literally like I'm about to crash out on life, jump right into this like window, or 10 being like, yo, there's no worries. I ain't got no worries.
I should say I don't have no worries, because with God,
Hello.
Amen on this Sunday.
Hello.
No, but seriously, I'm probably at a 6.
6? I feel that, though. I feel that.
What about you? How's your mental?
Oh, man. We've had some conversations.
Yeah.
We're not going to get into that on this podcast, but I'll say I'm about like at a 4. You know, life has been hitting me like a ton of bricks. But, you know, like, I think that it's really good to have a good supporting cast, support system to kind of walk you through those things. So, hey, man, we're figuring it out as we go. Yeah. Have been playing, like, you know, I need to, like, clean. I need to do a spring cleaning today. So, probably going to do that.
I always say, like, or actually, no, I think I heard this from a therapist one time, but when you have a clean space, clean living space, working space, whatever the case may be, it also gives you clarity in the mind as well. So,
I can see that. Yeah. I need to get my TV mounted. I got a TV. You know, I was trying not to have a TV. I had this like whole mindset back in college where I said I would never have a TV in my house. And I didn't have a TV. I had a TV in the living room, which actually worked out because like when I had people come over, we could watch TV in the living room. Right. But I had no plans of having one in my room. So, like...
I know people that do that.
Yeah, people ask me, like, why you don't have one in your room? I'm like, man, there's only a few things that's happening in my room. Smashing and sleep. Ain't no need to watch the TV.
The fact that you said smashing first, we know where your head's at.
Crushing. Crush.
See mine? Sleep. That's it.
She's lying. She's very, like, selective with what she says. Not so much me. But that was really, like, my lifestyle in school. Very much, like... Ain't no watching TV in my bed. Like, either we sleep or we doing something else. So it worked for a while. And then I need a TV today. So I'm getting that mounted.
Well, that's good. I'm happy for you. So then you can watch these playoffs that's going on. And
playoffs,
the NBA about to start back. So we'll get into those things later. But it is Mental Health Awareness Month. So make sure you guys are checking in on your people, checking in on yourself, doing some self-reflection to, you know, see where you are right now.
That's a fact.
You are in the spring, and some spring cleaning in the mind, and, you know, knowing that people are battling different things on a day-to-day basis, so make sure you're talking to them, you're checking in, and, you know, going to see a therapist if that's what you need.
If you need to go see a therapist. Yo, there's a lot of, like, online therapists. Which one do you prefer, online or, like, in person?
In person.
I love an in-person, like, conversation.
Yeah, in person, for sure.
You know, I went to therapy for a little bit. I felt like my therapist was like too much of like a homeboy, but I realized like that's kind of what I needed at that time.
Yeah, well,
I don't want that now.
Yeah, I felt like when I went to therapy, not in it right now, and I need to find a new one. But I felt that same way as though my therapist was trying to be too much of my homegirl. Like she wanted too much tea of my life rather than trying to help me get through the tea, you know, filter through that. And so that just frustrated me over time. You know, I felt like she was helpful at the very beginning, and then as weeks went on, I felt like I was just wasting money and time. So, yeah, then I did away with that. But I need to find a new therapist that can, you know, support the needs that I have in this season of my life. So I need to work on that.
You know, I've been seeing things about going to therapy again. I'm like, you know, I had one of my homeboys was just like, bro, we're your therapist. He was like, bro.
Being a therapist as well, because be for real.
He was like,
y'all
bro.
Y'all niggas do not be holding each other accountable.
I think we do, though. I think men hold each other more accountable than women do.
No.
I
do not think so.
Why you don't think so?
No.
I'm listening.
Because your homeboys, I think you may have certain ones that will tell you certain things, but I feel like in girls' friend groups that there's more conversation around feelings, emotions, struggles, different things of that nature, right?
Okay.
And so it opens up that safe space for them to actually have those tough conversations, hold them accountable, all that kind of thing. For guys, y'all be bro-festing it up sometimes, and so it's not always feeling like it's a safe space to be vulnerable, to be,
I agree. I can agree with that.
Let out those emotions and feelings that you have. So how could they really hold you accountable? How could they really give you the sound advice that you need, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that's why guys of your age always have like close friends that are women.
Women, yeah,
to
for
be able to get some of that off. Like, it's funny, we were just talking about this in my family chat. We was out on FaceTime yesterday. And my brother was talking about how he was hanging out with his homeboys or whatever. And my uncle was like, do you have any like close girls that are your friends? I was like, he too young for that. Like, he don't.
Too young, yeah.
He don't see the value in having that. He was like, nah, if a girl my friend, we probably smash her.
Crushing. Nah, it's a crush.
Like,
it's a crush session.
Yeah.
Nah, I will say, but I've always had like friend girls. Like, you know, we were locked in like at a very young age. But even when I went to like when I transferred schools, like always had that one girl that was like really cool that ended up liking me. But that's kind of been something I've always carried through. Because I will agree. All right, I'm gonna backtrack what I just said. I do think it's a lot easier to talk to women because like all of my like with the stuff that I've been going through like in life and shit. Like it's been very easy to call like one of my homegirls up and like have that conversation rather than like talking to like my LBs. That's like the last people I want to talk to about that because literally they're like, I don't care or like, bro, I told you this. Like you should have known this was coming. It's very much like a bad session.
Which girls can say that too, but they're also going to give you comfort.
It's softer.
Yeah,
it's like a nurturing like. Yeah. So yeah, okay, I'll backtrack.
Yeah. See.
Yeah.
Guess I was right.
You were right. I'm not. You know, the nigga in me really want to just like argue and combat, but I was like, let it go.
You know, that's why communication is so important. So we talked that out right there, and you see how we came to the conclusion of, yeah, you're right. At the end of the day, when you have strong black women behind you, you can't go wrong. That's the moral of that story.
'Cause you're my black brother.
That took a turn. It's Mother's Day. That's why I was going to go with that. So, happy Mother's Day to our mothers especially, but to all of you that may be watching that are mothers or your mother's mothers. There we go.
Hey, make sure you do something for your mother today. Yeah. So.
That's it. Hey, mama. I want to scream so loud for you. Because I'm so proud of you. And I just want to be proud of me.
Hey, mama.
I'm act a fool, but I promise you I'm
coming back to school. And I appreciate what you allowed for me. I just want you to be proud of me. Mama. Hey, that's before he lost his mind.
Yeah, man.
How do you feel about him saying that? Did he say that he had relations? All right, we'll leave it alone.
We're not even gonna take it.
Hey man, let's just go right into it. Hey, welcome to the plug.
We already did the welcome.
We didn't do it.
Yeah, we did.
We didn't do the plug. Plug.
Oh, plug.
We didn't even have to do that. But you already know what the plug is, man. We trying to feed your ear to the streets, man. Plug you in everything that's going on globally and locally. You know, we in the Queen City, so let's get on and get right to it. You know, we have our
Queen
music.
City Current.
Queen City Current, that's dropping this week.
Yes.
So what's going on this week?
Shit. No, I'm just kidding. There's some parties going on this week.
It is.
There's some things going on.
Hold on, what is going on? It's like something happening in Alibi or something like that? Or is that next week? Or the week after next?
That's next week. They're having a day party there for Memorial Day weekend. And then Better Luck Tomorrow's doing like a early morning party at like 9 a.m. or something.
Is it going to be like brunch?
Something like that. Tattoos and booze. Hold on, let me.
I'm not going to tattoo.
Cool it up. Yeah, I hate tattoos.
They do have really good grits though. I say that every time. They have some of the best grits I ever had. They have like this deep fried like crab that I had. Mm-hmm. Why do you fry the crab? Like you fry it. They fry the actual like crab leg. They don't take the meat out and fry it. So I think I'm gonna try that one day.
Crab leg.
I don't want to just fry the meat that's in the crab. Like it doesn't make sense to. Why would you put batter on the actual shell? Right. Do people eat the shell of a crab?
Not to my knowledge. You got to be. That's like, chomping on ice. I mean, not chomping on ice. Chomping on glass.
Yeah, it's chomping on glass. It's almost like chewing like the whole sunflower seed.
Right.
Crack
you got to be a different kind of individual to be doing some shit like that.
Yeah, I did try that one time though, where I ate
the whole seed.
Yeah, I used to try to eat the whole seed because I couldn't crack the shell.
How was that?
I scratched my throat up a couple of times until I realized that it is really vital for you to take the seed out the shell. So for all my shell crunchers, don't do it. It's just a lot of heartache and pain there. Are you still looking for it?
Yeah, I got it. So
what's funny?
Just that you did.
Oh,
weirdo.
Sorry.
Just a weirdo. So anyway, yesterday there was an R&B invitation tour at the Bojangles Coliseum. There's a bunch of different R&B artists, like old school.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. It seemed like it was a good little crowd out there.
For real?
And then Jacquees and Deja Kelly are coming to the Fillmore today.
Oh, that should be
Jacquees, yeah.
What was that?
Because that's what he always does.
I thought it was like, ooh, yeah.
Yeah, that too.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah. Like that. You got to really harmonize in there.
Hey.
Yeah.
The next
People think it's like so weird that actually like Jacquees is like he's an acquired taste for sure.
He's an acquired taste.
He got some shit.
He got some bangers.
Yeah.
And like if you have a good song, he's gonna do a rendition of it
And he
for sure.
Oh yeah.
Do you know he's like 5'1"?
Oh yeah.
I thought he was like 6 foot at least.
Oh no.
He said, "Oh no." Nah, that's crazy.
And then it's like a whole thing with him and Deja Love because
I was gonna say something about
they
that.
had a little thing back in the day, and obviously he's with Deion Sanders' daughter now, DeAndre, I think that's her name.
DeAndre, yeah.
Yeah. But you know, him and Deja Love, came out with this album, whatever, and they've been on tour together. And I've seen some clips from it, and just how they interact with each other on stage and what they do. It look real forced. Like they trying to make it more like sexy and like appealing to the eye, and it's just not that.
Very
so
cringeworthy.
Just perform, keep it moving, keep it separate.
But you got to have some kind of chemistry because, like, you don't want, like, if they weren't trying to, like, intermingle with each other on stage, then we would be talking about how they look like it's cringe on the other way. So maybe they're just a cringe, like, performance in general.
It could be. Because, I mean, I get that they're, like, their songs are talking about relationship stuff.
Yeah.
And, sex, all these different things, right? Because in my mind, I'm like, well, when you look at Kendrick and SZA, like the chemistry that they have as friends,
is good.
It's still
different.
Pops out. It looks great.
Nah, facts. You know what's crazy is that, like, random thought, Deja Loaf is like that stud that's really not a stud.
She's a STEM.
Is she really?
They would call them.
Is she a STEM?
I don't know. She looked like she could be one.
It's crazy because, like, since the beginning of time when I've seen her, like, I was like, is she like a young MA or is she like with us? But she sings about like relationships with guys. So it's very interesting.
She could be bisexual. I think she might be.
Man, I'm here.
But sometimes
I throw this every time on Ella, huh?
Sometimes she dresses girly, sometimes she dresses a little bit more masked.
Yeah. But she has I love her voice, very soft. She's on a lot of like Larry June products.
Try me. You gotta get this coffin together.
I don't know what's going on, man.
Golly, on that hookah. That's what's been doing it. Get to them lungs.
I'm a hookah boy now.
Hey, you want hookah, man?
Hey, so I went out the other night. I've been in it, like I'm one of those 30-year-olds that's like outside. So I'll be in the club. I don't be in. Would you consider them clubs per se?
Some of them. Let's wait on that.
All right, we'll wait because I want to rant.
Let me go back. Exactly. I already could tell where that was going.
Yeah.
All right. So the party I was talking about at Tattoos and Booze it's called Cinnamon Toasted 9 a.m. morning party.
That's early.
That's early beginning.
That's early. Like we're drinking at like 6 o'clock at that point.
That's in the morning.
Yeah. You got a pregame at like 8:30, 8 o'clock.
Right. It's wild. Mimosas going up.
And champagne drunk, like that kind of hangover is the worst. Oh my goodness.
It's different for sure.
That bubbly hangover is
different. Think
different.
about the people we were hanging with last weekend. Mm-hmm. And they was on that. They didn't make it.
They didn't, no.
Right?
They were gone for real.
Right.
I didn't think about that.
But they was on the mimosas.
No, they was on that mimosa.
But anyway, and then there's a Charlotte Brunch Festival this weekend as well at the Boardwalk. And then we're going to post about some of those other parties that are popping off this weekend too, at Alibi, and that Better Luck Tomorrow is hosting and stuff like that too, to keep you guys plugged in and current to what's going on in the beautiful streets of Charlotte.
You think I could pop out in like sweatpants?
No, cause why?
I just want to be comfortable.
No, man, you gotta put that shit on.
Yeah.
These days now.
I ain't even gonna lie.
Step out. That confidence gotta look different.
I ain't gonna lie.
They gotta be like, ooh.
I don't even think it's the fit. It's the confidence that you have.
Yeah, you gotta wear it. Wear the confidence.
Yeah,
it's
I'm about to say.
Not on you.
You gotta be in you, not on you. Cause I realize like I be popping out in some of the worst fits, but it don't matter. It doesn't matter at all. Cause I'm gonna go talk.
Right. And some girls don't care too much about like what you got on.
That's a fact.
As long as that face card don't decline. And
damn.
You can carry conversation.
That's true. That's very true.
Some dudes can't carry conversation.
That's true. You know, I appreciate the women when you go up to them and talk to. They will actually have the conversation. Yesterday I was talking to. Well, I looked at someone. I was like, "Hey, is there a seat I can sit down? You know, wherever I go, I'm gonna go sit down." She looked at me and said, "I'm like, girl, I don't want to talk to you. I just want to sit down. That's all I want." But then I want.
Say that to her?
No, I'm in an era where I can't. I haven't found that asshole Cam again. I'm getting there.
I don't think you should be an asshole.
I don't want to be.
Yeah.
I think like
it's people's fault.
Yeah, like if she was like I looked at her and said, "Hey, woo," she was just like, I was like, you know what?
I also feel like
I
girls
walked
need to
away.
stop thinking that everybody want to talk to them. Let's just leave that there.
I didn't say it. She did.
Because everybody don't want to talk to you like that. Okay? Some people may just want to be cordial. Or some people, like my boy here, may just want to pop a squat because we old. The knees ache. It's hot. Let me sit down and cool off a little bit.
Hey.
You know what I mean? But I think a lot of girls like, ooh, no, bye.
Let me tell you something. If you see me out in these streets and I'm not sitting down, it's A, because I can't find a seat, or B, I can't find a seat. That's the only reason, actually. But if you see C, D, all the above, but bro, I'm gonna sit down. Like, that's just what it is. So if I come up to you and ask you, like, hey, is this seat available? I might talk to you while I'm there because I don't like just sitting there. I'm one of those type of people where it's like,
to be weird.
huh?
Yeah, you don't want to be
I don't
weird.
want to be weird, but also it's just like, yo, we're here. Let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. But I don't know how we got on that.
Some girls want to just go out and just not be bothered though. So it's just like,
I think we are in the era where girls want to go out to just like be with their friends.
yeah, they don't want nothing extra. So they say. But if a dude come up and say, "Oh, let me get you a drink," you gonna say, "Yo," right away.
High key is very. I think is in my next lifetime I want to be a woman. It is free. It like I'm gonna try to be not as misogynistic when I say this, but bro, when you go out as a woman now, of course you deal with like iron deficiencies because of different things that happen at the time of the month. But like, if you really think about it, like being outside as a woman is probably it's low key kind of scary, but at the same time it has a lot of benefits, especially when you go out with a group. Now, if you're by yourself, that's fearful. I would never go out as a woman by myself. But if I went out if I'm with my girlies and we outside, we get in a section, we popping bottles, do we really have to? I'm putting on my short dress. I'm gonna have the skin showing. I might have some like micros.
Not girls wearing micros anymore, bro.
They don't?
No.
Knotless braids.
There you go.
Or the singly twist.
Okay.
My hair's gonna be on fleek. But
It even says fleek anywhere either. I'm gonna let you go.
Let me cook.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm going outside and I'm legit gonna like. I'll legit be a pick-me. I cannot make this
Do that
up.
one more time. Wait.
I'm gonna toot it up a little bit. I'm definitely gonna be a
Toot
pick-me.
that thing up.
I'm legit, and I'm putting on heels because I want a tall nigga. We need basketball players.
What they say? Period.
Pooh. But hear me out, like legit. I think that going out, like it's cost efficient to be a woman when you go out.
Don't even get me to going on that.
Not you because you're gay, but you like women.
Right. But if I was to not have a hat on and just be out there looking like me, I bet a nigga would buy me a drink still.
I think, you know what we should do? We should do an experiment one day.
I'm not dressing in girly.
No, you ain't got, but you can dress like Deja Loaf. You have soft features to wear, like you could do a Deja Loaf and a guy will come up to you.
I feel like I don't dress like too overly sometimes. I guess.
We can't go out with your girl though, because then she gonna like make it hot. So we're gonna go out. She's gonna watch this. Look, we're not trying to do anything wrong with Sierra, but I just want to go out so we can get free drinks. Because then you be like, well, if you're gonna buy me a drink, you gotta buy my friend a drink, and I'm gonna be right there.
Right. So it's really for you to get free drinks.
Yeah, I just want the experience.
Yeah. My problem is I hate when my girl get free drinks from other people. I gotta get over that though, but it's hard.
I ain't gonna lie though, your girl getting free drinks could invite other like energy that you probably wouldn't want.
Exactly.
That would piss you off.
That's what I'm saying. It just kind of opens the door. I feel like that's a different conversation.
Another conversation, but music. Yeah, you know we drop our today. I think Monday because we're dropping this on Monday. We do have our like plugged in playlist. You know, last week was a little.
It was R&B.
Somber.
We're gonna do that again this week.
I think we should do half and half.
It's gonna be raining.
It is gonna be raining.
A lot this week. It's chill. You know what I mean? We coming off of Mother's Day. It's like keep the vibes.
Chill.
Vibes, chill, but the vibrations are. I mean, wait. Never mind. Just forget what I was going to say there. I was gonna say vibrations high, but then something a little bit.
I think we should like kind of start like with the R&B, and then the last two should be like outside.
Okay, I can do that.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm not even gonna lie. If there's any music that came out this week, I wasn't plugged into the streets. But you know what I've been listening to a lot?
Tell the people.
Key Glock. Now listen to me.
That's not what I thought you were going to say.
Now listen to me. So I was a big Dolph fan, like when we were in high school.
I feel like you talked about this last week.
I did.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna talk about it again.
If you're a new listener.
If you're a new listener, hey, I've been on Glockavelli the whole week. Literally, there's no skips. He actually just dropped his. He did drop a deluxe.
I need to go listen to this. Let me see what it's hitting on.
Let me tell you something. He's coming to the Bojangles Coliseum in a couple. I think it's next month.
You slide?
I might.
Good for you.
I might. And I went to his concert with my ex like when we first moved to Charlotte, and like I was just like there because like that was her shit. But I was really like a Key Glock hater. I'm like he'll want to be young Dolph.
Yeah.
Nah, this Glockavelli, I'm like
He like that.
Yeah, he like that. I think it took him a while to find his voice. But I'm gonna tell you what I like about this new album. You know, I love old school like field music. So you know, I listen to Larry June. I listen to all those guys that kind of have those like Primo Rice guys that have like that old school feel. They take those old samples and kind of make it into something like modern. Mm-hmm. He did a lot of that. He took a Keith Sweat that nobody and flipped that. I think we had it on our plugged in like No Sweat. We had it on our plugged in playlist a couple weeks ago. But I'm just saying, you know, I take your advice to listen to some of your music. Sure. I did go listen to Isaiah Falls, which was great.
There we go.
It was great.
There we go. Love is Paradise.
That Glockavelli is one. I think that may be, unless somebody come out with some like heat, that is the best like rap album that's come out this far this year.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's early. Well, it's not even early.
There's not a lot of rap albums that have dropped yet.
Yeah.
I feel like they're gonna come closer to the summer.
Yeah.
But we shall see.
We shall see.
I'm thinking about the next concert I want to go to. Supposedly Isaiah Falls is coming on tour with Sir here in a couple weeks. But I got to make sure that's legit. Because if it's legit, I'm in there. But if not, don't worry about it. I do like Sir though, but I really want to see Isaiah Falls.
Sir.
But if not, then my next concert is going to be Coco Jones. I was like, do I want to see her again? Because I seen her in Houston.
Yeah.
And then I just love her new album so much, and I've been seeing the different clips of her performing. And I know people have been giving her a hard time because they say she like going OD with the performance and just all this, you know,
what was
like
that?
She overperforming.
Okay,
she's trying too hard to be a performer.
Yeah.
And it's like, girl, just chill a little bit, just sing, do a little
yeah, and
then keep it moving. But I like Coco, and I get where she's trying to go with it. She's trying to show how versatile she is. And like I said, her album's phenomenal. So I'm like, you know what? Whatever, I'm going.
I do think that like as an artist, we have to normalize like being you authentically. Mm-hmm. Because I would have never thought she would be. When I listen to Coco Jones, I don't want a performance like Beyonce.
Yeah.
I really be wanting her like in a coffee shop, like singing.
Yeah. I don't know that it's what she wants for herself. I think she sees herself as a performer because she's also an actress and
she does a lot. She's multifaceted.
You know, she's very multifaceted since a young kid.
Yeah,
so,
that's facts.
Yeah, I think she just has to figure out the balance of it all.
What's that movie she was on?
Oh, yeah,
Let It Shine.
Yeah.
With Buddy rapping.
I can't remember.
Everybody Hate Chris.
I can't remember what it was called, but yeah. Sure.
Trevor Jackson was in that movie.
Oh yeah, okay. But anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna have to go see that. Also in music news, my boy Leon Thomas said he's dropping that deluxe very soon. The deluxe is gonna have 9 records. He's already dropped 2 on that. Rather Be Alone with Halle Bailey, and then the Mutt remix with Chris Brown, which I know I said at first I didn't really like it because Chris Brown was all. They be talking about Jacquees. Chris Brown do the same shit. It just sound a little better. But he
man, Chris Brown is.
I'm a dog, got my mind.
Hey, Chris Brown can do that though because he's 6'1" and he's light skinned.
I don't give a damn.
And he has tattoos.
It's too much sometimes.
And he was like a heartthrob. He was like the last of a Mohican.
Yes, but like some songs don't call for all of that.
Take it easy, baby.
Yeah. When you.
Yeah.
You know.
You know,
he got to stick his neck out and
That's how I know she really wasn't in church though, because you know.
Yes, I was.
Nah, but hear me out. That's how I know she wasn't.
I was on the choir, bro.
Let me, audience. Let me talk. That's how I know she wasn't in church because, like, you know, back in the day, everybody did runs. Everybody did runs in church.
Yeah.
And then they came over.
You know who my favorite was at Bethlehem?
Who?
He looked like Cedric the Entertainer. What was his name?
Dexter Casey.
Dexter Casey.
Hey, he still be up there.
Reverend Casey used to get busy.
Hey, he still be up there.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
I got chills just thinking about it.
Not. She trying to act like she was really in church. She was not there with us.
Bro. How would I know that then? Because he didn't help out with summer camp.
You probably heard my mom talk about it.
Bro, be for
Your mom talk about it. We used to
Have
always.
you asked your mom, did we really go to church there? Okay.
I don't need to ask.
Right,
you weren't there.
I was there. Why would I lie? On a Sunday at that.
Why would you lie on a Sunday? Let's talk about it.
I was there.
It turns to a therapy session if you need to.
All right, whatever. I'm not doing this with you.
But nah, like
it's gonna be a running joke.
I think that's also a thing that we're missing in like R&B too.
What?
Ain't nobody in church. Ain't nobody like singing in the church choir. And we think about Whitney Houston. You think about Monica. You think about Brandy.
Fantasia coming out with a gospel album.
She's almost 50.
Like
she's in our era.
And Jasmine Sullivan, I bet, sung in the church when
she had to. All of them sung in church. Coco Jones, I think she's like at the cusp. I think she sung in church too.
But they even get on her about some of the runs and stuff she be doing. I'm like, let that girl get her shit off. Because y'all can't sing like that. Don't be mad.
Listen to me. I remember like at a point in time where you would go to church and like a 2-minute song would turn into a whole 30-minute praise break.
Amen.
Hey man, we need that in R&B. Yeah. So if you're thinking about breaking into R&B,
bring it back.
Go to church, sing in church, and if you can get them in church, you probably can get us in R&B.
There you go.
You really, I mean,
give us what's missing.
Yeah. If you think about it, like a lot of like gospel songs can be like secular,
right?
And a lot of secular music can be like God.
Yeah.
Think about yours, mine, ours. I can do this for hours. Want to give you your
flowers?
I can praise you for. I want to give you your flowers. Praise break for hours. I'm telling you, you really could turn that into a gospel song.
You could.
Yeah. But there has been a lot of like R&B music that's been coming out that I really like.
Yeah.
Isaiah Falls has grown on me.
That's my guy.
The new Frank Ocean, Kamari, he's there.
Frank Ocean better drop this year.
I don't need Frank Ocean to drop ever again. I got Kamari.
That's wild.
Hey,
I'm not going with that take, but I do like Kamari. I put you on him, but
you did.
I'm not.
Somebody else tried to say like I was talking to somebody this week, and I was like, yeah, man, Kamari's it. She's like, I put that on the playlist for you. I was like, yeah, but
what playlist?
I be getting like R&B playlists from like people.
Lovely.
Cause I be trying to really stay in tune with what's going on to the streets.
Gotcha.
Plugged in. Long story less long though. I feel like I put myself on Kamari because I didn't pay attention until I was ready to pay attention. And I think that's important that we actually like normalize that. But you introduced me, but I put myself on.
Okay. I'm gonna let you rock.
Bro, let me be delusional.
Yeah, Delulu.
But hey, so I did get 4 tickets to Shakira this weekend.
Like Shakira?
This week,
Shakira?
Tuesday.
Like Hips Don't Lie?
Yeah.
Why?
She gets free tickets to soccer games and also like concert tickets.
Okay.
So if they don't sell out, I get comp
tickets.
tickets.
Just gonna plug that in.
We're gonna go.
Okay.
Next time, because I think they have a loan like. So we're in Charlotte. So the Charlotte FC is literally right up the street from me, and
they're pretty good this year.
They are doing well. But that long story, like, so I get free tickets sometimes. So like we're gonna go.
All right, bet. I don't want to go see Shakira though. What day are you going?
It's on Tuesday.
Yeah, have a time.
You don't want to go?
Nah, we got practice. We go to Iowa this week. I don't got time.
I'm sick of you not making time for me.
But here I am on a Sunday
that's
where you
what
made me get up at the butt crack of dawn on the Sunday to come and pod with you.
Girl, it's literally almost 12 o'clock.
Now it is. I've been here since...
For a minute.
10.
For a minute. No, you did not get here at 10.
All right.
Because I was looking, I was like, why is she still in... I was looking, I was like, why is she still in Huntersville?
First of all...
Pissed me off.
First of all, I thought I was going to get here right at 10, but then I had to take King out, then I needed to make me a little breakfast, then I needed to make me my little concoction. You know...
If it was left up to me, you would have been here at like 8 o'clock.
Yeah, and that sounds wild. Because why am I getting up that early on a Sunday to come pod?
Hey, man, this is a commitment. This is our lifestyle.
Yeah, I hear you, but it'll be okay.
Listen to me. If we want to be famous, we legit have to put the work in. So you might have to quit your job.
Yeah, I'm not dealing with this fool.
You have to quit your job.
Other things we want to plug y'all into. If you haven't watched already, which I know a lot of you may have been plugged into this already, but
what's up?
The new Netflix series Forever. Everybody and their mama has been talking about this all over Twitter. I haven't seen this much on Instagram, but all over Twitter for sure, or X.
It's been on TikTok for sure.
Yeah,
it's all in my news feed.
And it's about two young black teenagers and just their battle of love, going back and forth, trying to figure out their relationship or and what comes with that when you're in high school. So, they both play sports. The young lady,
track star.
Keisha, is a track star, and then the young man Justin is playing basketball and trying to figure out his life there. It's a big year for him and trying to get recruited and trying to get seen, and so he's working to build better habits and that kind of thing. And while Keisha is on her grind at 4:30 in the morning, getting it in. So it's that, and then the influence of their friends and family into their relationships and exes being involved in all kinds of things. So it's a very beautifully written story about black households and the difference between having a single mother and growing up in kind of like the hood a little bit, and then being in the suburbs where you live in a 2-parent household, and just what comes with all that. And the music in the show is phenomenal.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet though.
Yeah, I've watched the first 2 or 3 episodes.
Okay.
2 episodes. No, 3 episodes, I think it is. And it's been really, really good. And once you want to just keep watching it, it's been great. And the writer, or the creator of the show, one of the writers, is Mara
Akil.
Yeah. Who also created my Girlfriends, the game Love Is, which was on OWN at one point. Love Is unfortunately had a very short ending to it, but that was a phenomenal show back in the day, and then has now created this show. So she has been pivotal in black series and just that have helped kind of shape our culture and TV as we know it, black TV as we know it.
For sure.
And so we all know how groundbreaking Girlfriends was. We all know how
the game was like
was at that time, and how we still want more out of those series, and we go back. That's a lot of people's comfort shows, I feel like, too.
For sure.
And if you've never seen Love Is, it was on OWN. It's still available to go back and watch. You should definitely see that, because that show was great. Huh?
Is that on like OWN? Like,
OWN, yeah.
Okay.
Oprah Winfrey Network.
Yeah. Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen the show yet. I'm a TikTok watcher, so like, it'd be like, if you watching the show with me, I would ruin it for myself, because like I would watch like the clips from the new episodes.
I've been doing
on
that
TikTok.
So all the episodes are out. I think it's like 8 to 10 episodes, something like that. But
okay.
I've been doing that on Twitter. I've seen a couple clips and I'm just gonna watch it anyway, because I'm still. You never know like when it's actually happening in the show, but. I think it's just cool to see how so many people are so invested in it.
Yeah.
And I saw a tweet too, though, where people were like, we also, or not we, but these people that have finished it need to stop adultifying, if that's the word. Like they're putting adult thoughts of relationship onto these young black teenagers, basically, of like their battle of love here. You know what I mean?
How do you feel about that, though?
I think love is love.
Love is love.
So I feel that people, these adults that are watching it, are pulling from different concepts and different situations that happen in the show that are very prevalent to a relationship of any age.
Yeah, I agree.
So I don't think it's that they're like over adultifying like these young kids. I think, they're just going off of like, okay, I see the concept of what they're trying to get across here. Right?
Yeah.
In the battles of trying to figure it out, and so many different things getting in the way of that, instead of just letting it be what it's going to be.
Yeah. I think a lot of times, like, like I'm trying to like draw from like personal experiences, but not talk too much. But like when I've been watching some of the clips from that from the TV show, I think a lot of the things that I saw like were happening like when I was that age. You know what I mean? As far as like going to the movies and like spending time with your girl, and then trying to go to a movie that you knew it wasn't gonna be a lot of people in there. So if you want to get some off, you could. It's crazy, but I think that like I I think from the clips I've seen, once I get like my TV up, I'm gonna like try to like watch the show. It might be a little triggering just because of like, bro has some like ocean eyes. Like he's legit going through it in that show. Show it looked like. Yeah. But I do think that like a lot of like the relationships we had like in high school, well, a lot of the relationships that we had in high school, the ones I had were very much college, like college. Like I think that there's no age like that you say like, oh, this like at this age, like this is the stuff you should be going through. Right. I hopped off the porch early, and a lot of the like girls I dated at those ages, like we were like really experiencing like a lot of different things that we probably shouldn't have been doing like at that time, like adding adult like things to our relationship. But also you got to think about the life that we live now. Like we had so much access back in like '08. To like,
and they have a lot of access in the show too because it starts out in I think 2019.
Okay.
Or 2007. I can't remember. It's like it's a flashback.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not current, right? Where the show hasn't started in 2025.
Okay.
However, there is social media. There are phones. It's all those things that, of course, we've been having for a while, right?
Yeah.
And so navigating through that time of their life, like you said, there are young kids that adultify their relationships on their own, when it comes to conversations that they're having, sex, and how they move. And these parents allow it.
Yeah.
So I think it's a different type of...
But would you say, or you saying in the show or just in general?
In general.
Okay.
In general.
Do you think parents allow it, or it's only so much a parent can do?
No, I think to some degree parents allow it because at the end of the day, they're your children. You are the one that can give them the yeses or the nos. Now, granted, how much or how less you give them those yeses or the nos is also a result of what they will sneak and do off on their own, right? So I think you have to be careful with that. But, I think in this day and age, these kids have a lot more of a leash where parents just like, all right, go ahead. Like, I could never imagine myself growing up where my friends and I, we were going to go, Frankie's or to the movie, whatever we did back then, right?
Yeah.
And our parents not drop us off themselves and pick us up themselves. Like,
at a certain time,
I hear some kids be like, oh, I can just get an Uber or do whatever. I'm like,
that's
wait
insane.
a minute, that don't sound safe. But parents will do that. Or, letting them stay out, past midnight or whatever. Like, my parents are not doing that. First of all, it was like a tall ask to even have to go anywhere.
Even have somebody come over to your house or going over to somebody's house.
Right. They got to know they you got to know their social security for me to even hang out with them.
I think it's like a situation, I agree with that but I do think there has to be balance. Because, we grew up in a very like stricter time where like when we went to the movies, it's like, what time the movie start? They're looking to see what time the movie ends so that like, all right, I'm going to come pick you up at this time, be ready.
Yeah, none of that extra.
We even have phones. Some of us didn't have phones, so it's like, I'm going to be here at 10 o'clock. If you're not here by 10:10, you're getting left. And that's how, like, I don't think she would have left me. She probably would have, like, went to the back and then came and got me and just been mad. But also, I do think that, like, in this generation, or maybe I guess, like, that 2019 to now, like, I do think that a lot of kids they get a longer leash. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I do think that there has to be, like, a really good balance as far as how you parent in that way. Because you have some kids that, like, if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's also on the other side when I've also seen situations where if you you don't give enough rein on the leash, when they, like, are off the leash, they go wild.
True.
So I think that's really important.
Like you say, it's a lot of give and take that has to happen. But I think right now, though, the kids growing up, I don't know if the parents are just, like, tired, to where they don't even want to parent them like that. But it's like, why you having babies then? If you don't want to parent for real. Because I just feel like these kids, and like you said, they just given so much of a leash where I think about, man, there's no way in the world my mom was going to just let me go walk around Birkdale for just hours on hours without some type of parent being there if I was like 13, 14 years old.
No, for sure. And
or 15.
And I admit, people are crazy.
Right.
Like,
they're crazier now.
Like, I think that, like, social media, like, just seeing like the different things that like people like the crime, because my TikTok is also filled with like crime stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll see things about people getting abducted. I'll see things about
There was just
like
a girl
killings.
assaulted in a Target here in Charlotte that's like 12 years old. In the story, the dude was just fondling around. But it's like, where were your parents at?
Yeah, my kid ain't.
Like,
Just
you're 12,
off.
I'm not letting you walk around by yourself. I don't care how grown you think you are. No, ma'am.
But you know what's crazy? Like, I don't know if you did this. You know, at Walmart, you remember they used to have a really big, like, toys. I think they still have the toy aisles.
Yeah.
I would legit tell my mom I'm going to, like, the toy aisle or the electronic aisle to play games.
Yeah.
So, like, I can't say that, like, if it was like that, like, I wouldn't, like, allow my kid to do that. But then it's, like, at the same time, it's a crazier time that we live in. It's like,
I can't imagine just letting them just do that. It's like, you got games at home.
Did you hear? Did you hear about the dude on the he was on the New York train, like whatever they call it, the metro or whatever. Yeah. Bro, like a homeless dude walked up to a guy, pulled his like woo out, and just made him forced the dude to give him like fellatio.
Oh wow!
Just a random like legit.
The homeless dude told the dude on the train to get him fellatio.
Literally pulled his out, put his head to it.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
That's wild. Yeah, it's
as a matter of fact, my kid ain't walking around nowhere by himself.
Yeah, it's a crazy world. But you also don't want to like shelter them too much because, like you said, they when they get on their own, they just go buck wild.
They go buck wild.
But I do think there should be some conversation around understanding what's safe and what's not.
I agree.
But then at the same time, though, I feel like these kids feel like they can talk too much to their parents. Like I hear interactions because I work with kids every day. Yeah. I hear interactions with kids and their parents sometimes, and I'm just like, there's no way in the world my parents let me talk like that. I be busted upside my head.
Not facts.
Or just like out and about, not even kids that I necessarily, work with, whatever, but like just out and about, like they let you talk to them like that. They let you say that.
That's insane.
They let you have that kind of attitude. No.
Yeah.
Get
I was getting popped right in my mouth. It was straight up. But one of the things I wanted to like ask you about, because like there was a lot that went on in that show, and I haven't seen it, but I'm a TikTok guy that watches all the clips before I'm supposed to watch the show.
We're gonna have to give another review once we finish the actual series. Yeah.
But I'm gonna ask you this question because Wood Harris is in the show. Mm-hmm. He's the father figure for the guy.
Tell people who Wood Harris is if they don't know.
Oh my goodness.
He's a legend. You should know.
A legend, like legit. Like what? If you haven't seen Remember the Titans, he's in that. He's in Paid in Full. Do you know his brother is the? You remember that woman from the dude from?
Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry, Diary of a Mad Black Woman.
What? Was she?
That's his.
With Charles, when she flipped Charles in that bathtub. Hey, she said, feed him.
You know,
clothe him, bathe him. They say that's one of the hardest lines ever, boy. She flipped that song.
Hey,
man,
you know they're brothers?
Yeah, I did know that.
Did not know that. Yeah. But Wood Harris is like a legend.
Yeah.
Like
he's been in some other stuff too.
He's been in a lot of stuff.
I'm about to
look it up.
I want to read it off because.
But while she's looking that up, like, I think that, how do you feel about those kind of father figures?
I think that's what's needed. Like, I think they do exist, and I love how in this series they're showing light to positive, I love that. Black fatherhood and what that interaction can look like.
I agree.
Because I think a lot of times they get a bad rap on certain shows or movies and that kind of thing. So him to be this positive and supportive father who's trying to help me in the relationship of a growing young adult and the battles he has with his mom and communication and different stuff like that. So kind of being that liaison between the two, but then also putting him on game and stuff like that, as a young man is pretty dope.
Go ahead and read it off because I was going to go into something else.
So first of all, he played basketball in college too.
He did?
Cool. Yeah.
He's tall.
He was in the NBA G League or D League at that point.
Yeah, D League.
But he used to be in BMF for a little bit too. He was in Empire for a little bit.
He wasn't Empire.
Yeah. He was in Creed 2, He was in all the Creeds, actually. All the Creeds, yeah. He's been in Ant-Man. He's also been in The Wire. I think that was like one of his first things.
Avon Barstow.
Yeah. But like you said, Remember the Titans, Above the Rim.
He wasn't above the rim.
He was in, you said Paid in Full already. I feel like there's some other stuff too, but yeah, I mean he's phenomenal though. Yeah.
But like one of the things that I love about like seeing that is like not only are you showing like a positive like father figure in the house, but also like it kind of goes to like that adultification that you were talking about earlier. I think emotionally he's talking. like there's been a lot of toxic masculinity that we've been like bred to believe, and misogyny that we've been bred to believe and accept. Like as a part of being a man, you have to like hide your emotions. You have to just like detach yourself from certain things. I think what he's teaching this young man in this like show is that, look, your emotions, you have to feel those emotions. Right. Like legit. But like I said, like Buddy looked like he's going through it the whole show. Like from the clips I've seen, bro's going through it. I've been there, but like I think it was one clip I seen where like Wood was talking to the son, and he was very much like, they were sitting on like a bench in the park, and he was just like, bro, like I've been there. Like you have to feel those emotions. And I think that, I don't know if there's going to be a season 2 or not, but like those kind of conversations are really important for black men to have with their kids and their sons, because like I'm getting into an era where it's like, man, I'm a bit more emotional than most men would like say they are, because I feel like everything for the most part. But like I'm one where it's like I want my son to be emotionally stable and aware of what's going on, and not very much teach him like, hey bro, like go out here, these hoes, like woo. I want him to very much like not be a lover boy. I want him to be aware. I don't want him to always look for like love in the wrong places. Because I have been one very much where it's just like I gotta be with somebody, but I want him to like understand like it's cool to have somebody, but know that like at the end of the day, like things are going to happen, good or bad. But how you respond in those areas, kind of like dictates what kind of man you will become later. Yeah. So I really love those kind of clips I've seen from him. Mm-hmm. And like, I think it was another clip where Buddy was about to go out. Like, it's something that happened to his girlfriend, and the mom was just like, no, like, don't, like, you're not going this late. He was like, go check on her, take her to that spot that I take you to when you're like in a bad spot. Sit there, listen to her, talk to her, and be back by this time. When I call you, pick up, like, giving him a leash. That's that leash that we were talking about earlier, where it's like, I'm treating you like a man because you're going to become a young man. Yeah. But I'm also like putting parameters as far as like, okay, you're going to go out here. It's super late, but make sure your phone's on. When I call you, pick up. Take her to this spot because I know that's like somewhere that we've been that's safe. Like he's putting parameters, but allowing him to like make decisions as a man. Yeah,
I think that's important.
Yeah.
And that's why I said I think it's cool to see that 2-parent household too.
Yeah.
And seeing how the mom is with him and how the dad is, right?
Yeah.
And then how do they co-parent? You know what I mean? Because she's very much just strict, like no, she did this. I'm not messing with that girl.
Yeah.
You know? But then Wood Harris is like, no, listen, let's let him kind of
figure this out,
struggle his way through it. Yeah, he figure it out on his own and draw his own conclusions and things like that. So it's again early in the episodes, but it's been really good so far. So I look forward to finishing it and then us coming back to give a true synopsis. A
true synopsis of what's going on. Yeah. But everybody's been talking like, oh, I hope they come out with a season 2.
Yeah, I hope so too.
It's crazy, like it's crazy. I might be hungry, but it's crazy to see how many like adults are really like invested in the show.
Yeah, it's true.
It's crazy.
But it's like, to be honest, adults, we don't really have any series that are on right now to be full-fledged into. Because typically the ones that come on are in the fall or in the winter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're talking about Reasonable Doubt because they just started filming that.
I love Reasonable Doubt.
And there's going to be some heavy hitters on there.
P-Valley about to come.
I was just about to say that P-Valley's about to come back on, so that'll give us some things to talk about.
What about The Chi? You watch The Chi?
I do not watch The Chi, but I heard it's really, really good.
That comes out next week, May 16th. That's my show. Yeah, that's my shit.
So there's some other things that we'll be able to hold on to, but until then, go run up forever so we can get another season 2 and just support our black artists, our black people.
No, facts. We've already. Hold on. Yeah, we good. I'm gonna ask you this question. Because we've already kind of flowed into the outlet. We ain't going to do all that whole thing, but do you think that you could, like, seriously deal with someone who is friends with their, like, they have the friend of an opposite sex, or let's not even say they have a friend that they have had, like, sexual encounters with?
How close are they with this friend?
All right, let me go on a rant. Let me tell the story. So, you know, like I've been in this era where I'm meeting new friends.
Back outside, boys.
I really want to be inside, but like I think I've developed a strong case of FOMO. But I like the FOMO. I like because it's like it's really low key. I don't want to be where everybody's at.
Okay.
Because I like to be outside, but I like to be outside when there's like quality, not quantity. You feel me?
Okay.
Quantity is just all right. Long story less long, which is going to get longer as I keep talking. So we go out last night. Buddy hit me up and be like, "Hey, bro, what you on?" Bro, I'm just inside, about to go get some food. Hey, bro, let's go outside. All right. Shit, like so. Go outside. We go to this spot, Eden, that's like in Midwood Plaza.
Eden's a nice little chill spot.
Really chill spot.
3 levels.
And
They got the rooftop back open now.
Yeah.
The second floor, to me, is the best floor because that's where it really goes down.
And it's a lot more space.
Good DJ, good space. They got a bar up there, got the TVs up there as well.
And they usually have like three DJs on each floor. Right. So they have one on the first floor, then it's a different vibe on the second floor. Then the rooftop is like a completely different vibe.
Yeah.
So
good little setup.
Yeah. So get to Eden. It's a vibe. He was like, "Bro, I gotta go on a date at 9, but I'll be back." I said, "All right, cool." So
going on a date and saying I'll be back. Nasty work,
crazy
bro.
work. But end up like I'm there for a while watching the game. Woo. So end up like seeing this young lady. So we're just talking. So me and her talking, nothing. It's just very platonic at this point. So then her dude, like some dude comes over, and like whole time like we're talking, you know, I pay attention to a lot. So he's like looking at me. I play staring contests. So I'm gonna look until you either blink or you look away. All right. Long story even longer. we talking. So like he comes over, kind of like trying to establish his dominance. I'm the type of guy, but I don't play that alpha.
Post it up.
Nah, for real. I don't play that alpha stuff. Like, look, if you want to be that guy, be that guy. Just don't piss me off. You feel me? So like he want to be the alpha guy. So I'm like whenever he comes over, like I let them like have their interaction. I'm like, "Is that your nigga?" She was like, "Oh no, that's my best friend." So we get to talking. I said, "You know, I'm very straightforward." I'm like, "Have you had sex with that guy?" She said, "Oh, only once." That's a lie.
How recent was it?
I was like, "How recent?" She's like, "Oh, it was like a year ago." That's another lie. I said, "Y'all done fucked multiple times." She didn't answer the question. She just looked at me. I was like, for one, don't gaslight me. Yeah. I'm not stupid. But two, it's like,
but why did she have to lie to you?
I don't know her.
Right.
But anywho, I was like,
girls.
I was like, "That's your friend?" She was like, "Yeah." I said, "Do you think that you could be friends with somebody and have him around?" She was like, "Yeah, I think I could." I said, "No, you can't." I said, "We dated. If I got your number, we started talking or whatever, he has to be removed. That guy is going to try to establish his dominance every way he can." Right. So I come to you to ask, do you think that you could date a woman that has another friend around that they've had like sexual encounters? And how does that look like for a girl to have another girl around that they've had like sexual encounters? Because you know, girls are very fluid in like
Yeah, I was going to say, I think in the gay world, it's a little different because that's already like a stereotypical situation where you never really like leave somebody alone. They be at like there's always some like lingering aspect for a while or something. So for me, the answer is no. It's really hell no.
He said it's really hell no.
Yeah, because one, I have issues just trusting people in general.
Okay.
I'm not one to, I don't want to say I'm not one to give the benefit of the doubt, but I'm one that like,
oh man, she.
You know, what was I saying?
Keep going.
I'm one. Oh, damn! You messed me up, bro. Trying to remember what I was gonna say.
So you don't trust like easy.
Yeah, you gotta really earn my trust through action.
Really?
Right? And I'm not gonna just give you all this trust in the world.
That is crazy.
Just tear apart. Like, I kind of work in a different way than most people.
Okay, I was gonna say like a lot of people work like that though. I give everyone full trust.
Yeah,
and then as you do things, you strip away your trust with me.
Yeah. No. I don't give a lot of people a lot of trust to begin with. You have to show me that I can trust you.
That's fair.
And so I think that's a hard a very, very hard thing for me, and I've continued to work on that and get better with that. But yeah, so the answer for me is definitely no, because if if y'all did it one time, they're gonna try you again, especially if it's a dude. I mean, actually a girl too. Everybody's conniving these days if we're gonna keep it a buck.
Everybody on BS.
Yeah, but for dudes especially though, I feel like once they feel like they've had sex with a girl, that they almost like own them in the sense of like, oh, anytime I want, I can go double back on that.
That's a fact.
Yeah, that's why ladies, be careful who you give your body to, because these dudes think you out for rentals.
You better have renter's insurance. I'll tell you that. But I think that's like, all right.
But I also think girls are kind of shifting the narrative a little bit to where they think y'all rentals now.
No, we are. I legit had a girl come up to me the other day. We've been talking, and she was just like, look, like, I got a guy that I'm like crushing on the side, but if you want to start something serious with me, we can. I was like, for one, I'm not looking for anything serious, but two, I would not talk to you because like, I'm not it feels very demeaning for a woman to come up to me and just be like, yeah, like, I like you, you're cool, but like, I am crushing somebody on the side.
At least you
I love it
for you.
I love the women empowerment though.
Yeah, I think a lot of women are doing that now though. Like, they're not putting all their eggs in one basket. Like, if they're gonna be out here dating, they're gonna date. And I'm not saying dating multiple people. Not that they smashing multiple people.
They're dating.
But they're dating.
I think
I'm gonna go with this one because he's gonna give me some free meals.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with this one because he got good conversation. We have a good time. We kiki all that. And then I'm gonna hang out with this one because he be blowing her through the mattress.
I had an ex that literally told me like women are dating for experiences.
Yeah.
Like it's unintentionally dating to figure out what they like, what they don't like. So a lot of our generation is dating with nothing in mind. Like, look, I'm not looking for anything serious. It's very much like, I just want to figure out who I am, what I like, what I don't like.
I don't even think it's just that. When I hear like dating for experience, my first thought is like they truly for an experience of like, because social media has so much influence, I feel like, on relationships and what dating is supposed to look like.
Yeah.
So, this dude gonna fly me out because he got money, or he gonna take me here and do this. I don't gotta worry about my bill. He gonna take care of it. They date for those type of experiences too.
I think that's dangerous though.
I think it is too, but it could be like, oh, I had a dude help, pay for this for me.
Yeah.
Boom, and I didn't have to get him nothing.
I was gonna say like that. The reason why I think that like kind of dating is dangerous because like a lot of women right now, women have the upper hand in the sense of like they are like independent. Now there are women that don't want relationships. They really want to be outside for the rest of their life, and that is fine. Like, live your life. But there are women that like I draw off life experiences. Hopefully, like, but I was talking to another woman, and like she legit is like in her older age, and she was just like, now I'm ready for all the things that like I thought I didn't want like now. And I was just like, what led you to get to this point?
How did you get there?
Bro, life is lonely when you by yourself. Like, there's some people that like being by themselves, and then like when you come home, you have all this money. Like, she was telling me, when you have all this money and you have nobody to like spend life with, woo-doo-woo, she was just like, I need to stop saying that.
Right.
Every time I say woo-doo-woo, I should take a shot. Y'all should actually play a game. Like, every time I say woo-doo-woo on the podcast, just take a shot.
Take a shot.
It could be a Friday night game. But anywho, I think that like some women get to a point where they're like, yo, like, I think I was wrong about like how I treated my I guess those years.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, life is experiences. I mean, there are guys that live that way too, but I don't know. I like to say I date with intention though. Like, that's like what we were talking about. I was like, I like to date with intention because like, it's not because I'm older. It's not because like, but I don't want to just date somebody now. If it's just a fling where we're like smashing, I'm gonna very make it clear. I'm gonna try to make it clearer. Like, look, I don't want anything. Like, I just want to kick it. I want us to like hang out, but I'm not looking for anything serious. I just want it to be kind of like crush and go, like, you know what I mean? But I think now I'm very much like, if I find somebody I like, I'm letting you know, like, look, like, if this is something now, if I'm spending a lot of time, effort, patience, and like life with you, like, I want there to be intentionality with what we're doing.
Right.
And if I know that like you're just dating for an experience, I will give you the experience, but I'm not opening up my we doing free experiences. I'm not playing with you.
They're not gonna be around them.
Huh?
They're not gonna be around them.
I don't want them. If you are worried more about money experiences than
No, I
anything?
don't think it's like about money experience. I think like women also want to be like courted. They want to date. You know, there are some that are just for the money. But I'm saying like even I think as you kind of filter back into this dating world or whatever, right? Is that you got to actually do that date, and so dating costs. So going on actual dates to different places because everything's not gonna be free,
Bruh.
But again, it's
I'm not even gonna say that, huh?
yeah. So it's just you finding, you know.
I think I'm
Narrow
cool.
down
I think the one thing that like I would like to bond over, you know, I love food. I like experiences. So like those kind of food experiences.
Yeah.
So I think that with me opening up into this new dating world, it's very much easy for me to either like, hey, let's go get food.
Yeah.
And then we'll try something different.
It's
Don't-
easy to get, the date over breaking bread. That's good. That's
yeah.
easy. That's
Let
dating.
us break bread together. You know what that is? That's how I know you didn't go to Bethlehem. But yeah, Carter.
I'm not doing this with you.
Carter.
I
But
really was a regular. I was a member at the church.
But-
I'm in the church directory.
But like, do you think that like, all right, when you got back out in these streets, right? Did you like date intentionally, or were you very much one that was just like, I want to like date to see like what life is like?
I think it was a little bit of both. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think it was a little bit of both. I think at first I was like, I'm just out here, you know, dating, have a good time, just chilling. I don't really want anything. But then I started talking to this one girl, and she kind of, I'm a lover girl at heart, right?
You are.
And so I've tried multiple times where I'm talking and dating to multiple people at the same time, right? But then there's always one that really sticks out that you really just vibe with. So that's what happened at that time. And so after that, I kind of just stopped talking to everybody else and just stopped, you know, whatever.
I respect that.
And just kind of dove into that, you know. But we still weren't like officially dating. We were just kicking it, you know, but mainly just kicking it with each other for the most part.
I can dig that.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's gonna look like for me.
Yeah.
I'm a
I mean,
little
I don't think
nervous.
it's something that you got to figure out right away. I think you just like over time, because that's what it was with me. It was just like over time how I was feeling, you know, where I was at with, you know, how those relationships were forming.
Yeah.
You know, and then just kind of making decisions from there of who I wanted to be around, who I didn't.
I definitely want mine to be like a natural progression.
Right.
Like I said, like even now, like I'm out in these streets, but I'm not out in these streets. I will get a girl number just to see if I could get it. But right now I'm in a space where I don't use it. I will not.
That's crazy.
It's because
The girls probably think you're gonna actually text them.
I'm not in a space where I can't give them anything that's not like toxic.
So why you even getting their number?
Because they look like really nice girls.
But if you were to hit them up a month from now, are they gonna remember you?
Nah.
Okay, exactly. So they're not gonna respond.
But I'll probably see
You
them
just stroking
outside.
your
I'll
arm.
see them outside. Charlotte is very small.
True.
And like the places that I frequent, like it be like regulars there. I'm really
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you how I know I'm becoming a regular at these spots.
Yeah.
I walked in the Dream because that's like my cloud for like her version of cloud.
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
Years ago, not now.
Give me 6 months, bro. I'm gonna be back inside for real. But like probably not. But I go to Dream. I walk and I look at like one of the like bartenders. She's like, "We ain't got no gin out here." I was like, "How you know I'm getting gin?" She's like, "You the only nigga that come in here getting gin." I think like I went in there yesterday and I was just like, "Let me get a gin." She was like, "We ain't got no more." I said, "Y'all, what you mean?" She's like, "You the only nigga that drink it. That's the only." So I don't think they have it in their inventory to drink that shit.
So so I'm hearing two things here.
Sorry for the cursing.
One, you go there regularly. Two, you're drinking up too much of their gin. So
only get like 3 or 4
I'm at a
drinks.
third. You're spending too much money.
I am.
So
Yeah,
you gotta dial
I need
it
to dial back.
Yeah.
I think I'm in a spot now where it's like, I'm a work in progress. But now, like, it's legit, like, gotten to a point where, like, when I go to these spots, they be like, yeah, we already know what you want.
Yeah, I get it. I've been there. Been there. That's when I knew I had to stop going for a bit. Boy.
Nah.
They started knowing me at the door.
For real?
Yeah, man. They started knowing me at the door. They were like, "Oh, you good?
You know
Come
what-
here every week, bro. Chill.
You know
Man,
what-
why you saying that out loud like that?" And then I go
Nah, for
in and
real.
they're like, "Oh, What's up? You getting your da-da-da-da? I'm like,
That's why I gotta get my TV set up because like I can watch the games from the crib.
Yeah.
I be wanting to go outside.
TV,
Ain't got TV. That's why I'm getting a TV. Yeah, but I will say, hold on.
We're back, people.
We're back.
I just want to say, as we get back into this last little bit of the episode, that I trusted somebody to press record and to make sure that our heads were actually in the camera. You know, our whole heads. And then we had to break for something. And this guy goes and looks to see, you know, where do we end? And then goes, oh, actually, our heads are cut off. I said, what you mean? Our heads are cut off the whole time during the episode.
I mean, you could see the essential parts of our head, but it looked like you didn't.
Forehead. That's all you can see. You can't even see the bun. You can't even see the grays in the top of your head. So we've adjusted now. But I learned my lesson.
You know you're supposed to check behind
Some
me.
days I don't check behind them and I just trust them. But
Yeah.
I got to do it every time.
But we were talking about being outside. I don't want to be outside no more. It's expensive. I don't want to spend no money. I ain't trying to go on no walks, but shit. I ain't trying.
Y'all trying to say with dating, you're going to have to spend a little bit of money. But
Nah, for real. I
you
will
do a
say.
little picnic.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't
Chocolate.
mind. I don't mind like spending money on food. I like food. You know, I got my little cooking with Cam. I ain't did that in a while. I think I might make one today. But
You're not going to take them to Top Golf. You're not going to take them.
I think
Ride some go-karts or
Yeah,
something?
I want to do fun stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like go-karts. There's like a little go-kart thing here. You can go like Top Golf. That would be a fun little date. Picnics like with music. I need to date a music head like in my next life.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
That would be dope.
Y'all bring your own playlist. Do like
Yeah,
little verses. I did that
do a little
before.
verses.
Yeah,
I think that would be a vibe. I think I took that from you.
probably.
Yeah, she's the one, not the two
I took
or
that
the
from
three.
my other friend.
For real?
The verses one part of it.
For real, I'm gonna do that. But I think I want to be. I think I want to be a bit more intentional. I don't think I was necessarily intentional with like dating, but
Come on, self-awareness.
self-awareness, you know. But being outside is not fun. It is fun, but it's not fun. And while we broke, like one of my homeboys, he hit me up. He was like, "Hey, bro, let's do brunch." I said, "No, bro." And then he was like, "Bro, I was gonna tell you after we got food that you need to stop like being outside." I'm like, "Bro, so you want to take me out?"
Usually then at the end, be like, hey, actually, this is our last time.
It's our last time. You need to chill a little bit. Nah, I think everybody, but it's like it's crazy because it's like some people when they go out they're like, oh, I'm about to go on this like little like crush fest. Like I ain't even been on that. Like
You literally just been out by yourself or with your friends.
Not for real.
Yeah.
Just going out, meeting people, talking to people.
Yeah, having a time.
Yeah.
We had a great time on Sunday.
Oh, we had an
Last
amazing
Sunday.
time.
Yeah, that was a blast. But
Got her number, ain't hit her up.
yeah, it was a long day though.
It was a great day though.
It was a great day, but it was a long day. It's like, how did we all not get home till 10 o'clock on a Sunday?
Hold on, what time did we get home?
Yeah.
It was
something
like 10
that.
o'clock?
Or maybe it was a
It was
little
like
earlier
11.
than- No, it was earlier. Maybe it was like 9 something. But it felt
Yeah.
like so long because we were out all
Because somebody
day.
was
we
nah,
also
she was
went to
out.
dinner after.
Yeah. I will say I'm kind of pissed off that Vinyl took the deviled eggs off there.
Oh, let it go.
That just pissed me off. But yeah, man. Hey, rule of thumb: you go outside, you're gonna spend some money. So, unless you're a female or a woman, we gotta normalize men not saying females because they say man, but then you'll say female. Nah, women. If you're a woman, I'm telling you, I would really be a hoe.
Okay.
Like, I would really be busting it open for drinks. Cannot lie.
The bars mad low so the time like you just busting open for drinks.
Nah, legit. Like
I think they're like, mysterious.
I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I think I'm a very sexual, like highly sexual being with the right person. So it's like if I was a woman, oh my God, I would have like so much sex. That's not good. Like I would be 40. Like, what did I do with my life?
Right, just loose.
Like roast beef down there. I'm just telling the truth. But it is what it
Looking
is.
like this thing on the table.
Cracked all the way open. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
that part
saying?
too.
Yeah.
Golly.
Dang, what was the topic? Oh, what was the topic?
It was at first, would you date somebody who's best friend? they
Okay,
had
let's
sex
get
with,
back to
and
that.
No, we done with that.
Oh, we already done with
yeah,
it?
we done with that. And then it went on to just
tomfoolery.
Dating and all that other stuff. Yeah, so we're gonna unplug from the outlet.
Yeah, it's time.
Yeah, we're gonna unplug for the outlet. And we're gonna dive into sports here. So first thing I want to talk about is the NFL. And Shador. So they didn't want to draft the boy until 5th round.
Yeah.
But when you look at everything on NFL, ESPN, all this stuff about the NFL and their training camps right now.
Yeah.
What do we see?
We see Shador.
And Shiloh.
And Shiloh. Shiloh actually just signed a 3-year, $2.9 million contract. So salute to him.
Yeah.
He has to still has to make it through minicamp, make it through summer. Hopefully he doesn't get cut. Hopefully he can show himself to be a strong asset to the team. But yeah, let me just because we're gonna go into Shador, but I want to kind of hit the mini camps that's going on right now too.
I mean, could we not do that after you talk about Shador? Because I just introed Shador.
Let's talk about Shador. All right, Shador. What? All right. So let's let me ask this question. What is your issue with the coverage of Shador right now?
My thing is, we knew they were going to do this.
We did.
They blackballed him just to only use his face for social engagement.
They colluded against him.
Okay, there we go.
That's a
I
better
shouldn't say
word.
blackballed. You're right. So just to use his face on all these social media sites to engage the viewership, the likes, all these different things.
Right.
Right. And I just think that's unfair. It's no. I had seen Cat a Dog about Cam Ward.
But you don't really.
You think it's my algorithms?
Yeah, because I've seen a lot about Cam. Well, not a lot.
I've seen one.
No, I've seen more about Shador than I'm gonna give you that. Yeah.
And then what's the white boy that went to New York Giants?
I've seen a good Dart.
I've seen I've
seen a couple things about Dart, but they are pushing the hell out of Shador.
That's what I feel like.
I love it.
They're putting every one of his interviews up. Same thing with Shiloh. They're asking each brother about the other brother. It's just a lot of stuff that I feel like they're putting out there. And I'm I don't know if it's just me or what, but I just feel like that's really, really unfair.
I think I'm not gonna say it is unfair, but I do think that the Sanders, I knew this was going to happen because the Sanders are easily marketable. They're probably the most marketable of rookies coming into in the league in a very long time. They have their own media outlets. The oldest brother, Deion Sanders Jr., he does a lot of clipping for them with the well-off media that he does on YouTube. So those guys are they've been kind of groomed to be in this limelight, and now they are really showing that they are the draw. The way we talked about the draft a couple weeks ago or last week or whatever, and how he fell, but we all knew that he was at least a top 2-round talent. You know what I'm saying? So. And the videos that I've seen, I've been watching a lot of minicamp videos to see who's really there or not. He's getting a lot of respect from his teammates. So right now,
peers,
yeah, when you watch him throw the ball, he's very accurate. We knew that he was the most accurate passer in this draft. For him to fall to that team with a great running back, well, I don't even think he's there anymore. But with talking about Nick Chubb.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't think he's there. I don't think they've signed him. But with that great defense and him being able to make those accurate intermediate passes Tom Brady would, I'm happy to see him thrive.
Me too. I hope he makes that roster and that he's actually able to play this season. So we'll see. And
they had the OC, their offensive coordinator was mic'd up this week. And you could see that he is oozing to work with Shador, giving him pointers, really just when you play sports, you're dang near a point guard at Anderson University. You know, I'm always gonna big you up there, but even when a coach loves you, you could do no wrong. Even the small things that you may mess up, there's a lot of encouragement there, and that's what I'm seeing from that offensive coordinator. He might make a few mistakes here, but he's very encouraging of him. And then the fact that they drafted literally Dylan Gabriel a couple rounds before Shador, you can see that there's a difference in talent level there. So I think Shador might be. I'm not gonna say he's gonna be the week 1 starter per se. I do think by the end of this year though he will be the starter of this Browns.
Right now it's probably Joe Flacco.
It's Joe Flacco. I think they're going to have to get rid of one of the because they have 4 or 5 quarterbacks. They have 5. They have him. They have him, Pickett, Gabriel, and they have Shadur. Those are the top 4. I think they have another guy they brought in too, but I think that Pickett might be a guy that gets out of there because between him and Flacco, and then I don't know. I don't see them keeping both I can see them keeping Gabriel and Shadur. Because they're both young, kind of have a situation where when back, it was early 2010s, I think maybe 2012, in that draft where at that time the Washington Redskins, who are now the Commanders, they picked up RG3 in the first round, and then in the 4th round they got Kirk Cousins. So
Gotcha.
really good, 2 good quarterbacks.
When you said Pickens, it made me think of Pickett.
Did I say Pickett? Pickett. The Pickens.
Pickens.
Yeah, he got traded to the.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So he got traded from Steelers to the Cowboys, which I was surprised by.
I was too.
I mean, I was actually kind of looking forward to seeing him and DK Metcalf play together. Although we still don't know who the Steelers quarterback is going to be.
Right.
But I still was looking forward to seeing that. That's a lot of dominance on the wide receivers.
No, for sure. I think that that's a really good pickup for the Cowboys. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm an Eagles fan, big Eagles fan. They're in our division. A lot of our division, in the draft and even in the offseason, they're trying to pick up a lot of weapons. Debo went to the Commanders, but sticking with the Cowboys, I think that they've made some really strong moves on the O-line and D-line this summer. Going into summer or this offseason. But that pickup for the Cowboys is really huge because not only do they have him, they also have a CeeDee Lamb.
Yep.
The rank
draws a lot of attention,
huge,
so that will help.
The O-line, they revamped their O-line, so hopefully they're able to protect Dak there. Hopefully he's able to make that jump again because arguably you could argue that he's a top 5 quarterback in the league. He just needs playoff wins. He's top 10.
I can go there.
I can go top 10.
I can go top 10.
But as far as his numbers don't lie. He's been a top passer, top 3 or 4.
That don't win in the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Consistently there.
Yeah, but also you got to realize too that a lot of people need to realize that numbers don't equate to being the best. Being able to win because if you think about it, Mahomes this past year, he didn't really have gaudy numbers like he did his first couple years.
The team found ways to win.
Found ways to win. Even with Hurts, he's jumping into that for me. He's top 5. Regardless of if he throws for 100 or 200, the guy literally knows how to win the game.
Right.
So, but on the other side, let's talk about the Steelers. I was a bit shocked that they let him go, but at the same time, he has been a locker room cancer.
Right. Mike Tomlin was not happy with him. Yeah,
I think that's a really big issue there. He hasn't necessarily been a great locker room guy. He has a lot of talent, but we expected him to make that jump. He has yet to make that big jump.
Yeah.
So hopefully I don't know what it is about Jerry Jones taking delinquent players that are that are troublesome, but it does tell a lot too because if you think about Mike Tomlin, he has had some locker room cancers and he still stuck it out with Antonio Brown as long as he could, Le'Veon Bell as long as he could. He's had some guys that he's believed in, and so the fact that he wasn't able to get Pickens on the right track, I do think that it was time for them to let him go.
Yeah. Well, guess we'll see how it pans out.
Yeah.
With the Cowboys this season and whatever the Steelers plan to do. So
no, facts.
What did you want to talk about with the mini camps?
Man, there's a lot of mini camps going on, just rookies coming in. I wanted to ask you this question. I know you don't really know much about football, but you know, not as much as I do.
Okay. That's better. I do know.
Yeah, you know a good bit.
Not as much as you.
Oh, shout out to Levante Bentley, one of my neos from Chi Zeta, Clemson, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated chapter. He actually signed as an undrafted free agent there with I think the Bengals. So he posted a good bit this week of him just walking into the facilities as he get ready for mini camp, and that kind of segues into what I want to talk about next. So there, Shamar Stewart, their first round draft pick for the Bengals. He's not participating in the first round and their second round pick. Guy from South Carolina, I think he's an outside linebacker. I can't remember his name. But Shamor Stewart, their first round pick, he's not participating in minicamp until he get his contract situated. So how do you feel about like guys or even women that hold out? Because we're going to start. I think eventually, as the women game pick up, you're going to see a lot of people like hold out until they get their contract signed as they start making more money, getting their worth too. But how do you feel about players that hold out and not participate in like those early on?
I don't like it. I think they need to prove themselves. That's the whole point of a training camp, a mini camp.
Yeah.
For NBA, G League, for women, just the training camp and preseason games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think that's an opportunity to show your skill set at a professional level with that coaching, with that type of those type of athletes and the physicality, the athleticism, speed, because everything is different at each level, right? And your IQ in those settings as well.
Yeah.
So I think you holding out is a little bit of entitlement, which I think that this generation just
I see that
struggles with in general. Like they just try to throw that at everything.
Yeah.
But I'm not a fan of it. But I agree with you. I think more people are going to do that because their names are behind it. You know, and like we already showed you what we could do here. Like you drafted us, so clearly you believe in us too. So go ahead and make that ink dry.
I agree. Now, I'm always for, hey, man, get your chicken. You know what I'm saying? Like, regardless of anything, you want to, because if you produce at a high level, I want you to get paid at that level.
Right.
But I do agree with you. I do say that, like, it is very important for you to get in there to meet the guys that you're going to be playing with, that you're going to, like, in the trenches with week after week. I think another thing I didn't realize is that with those mini camps that getting the rookies in, like, there's some type of, like medical like injury thing to where like even if they were to get hurt, it wouldn't like mess up anything as far as their contracts or anything like that. So like they're still covered even without their contracts being signed. So he could be there even without your contract. I think you should get in there. Even like he's there, he's watching from the sidelines, but it's something completely different when you're actually in there like intermingling with the players, with the coaches. Right. So I always say, man, look, I'm not $1 million guy. I didn't have the tools to like play the sport at that high professional level, so I can't necessarily give you like that like experience like advice. But I do think it's really important to like and you got to be in there to like know what's going on. And
I think it also, when you hold out like that, kind of puts a bad taste in the coaching staff.
It does,
to start. So it's like that's how you want to start your career with
exactly.
This team. So I think those are some things to think about. I mean, obviously, you can play devil's advocate on both sides, but I mean, we'll see how those things shake out and, if this will continue to be the trend or, will these professional teams put some other type of stipulations or, do some things on their end to help prevent this.
Yeah, I think it's going to be
that happening eventually.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting because a lot of these guys are stepping into they're stepping into the league as millionaires already with NIL. Yeah. So, you have guys like Quinn Ewers who went to Miami. He's doing great down there. You have, like Shadur. Like Shadur was literally making like $7 million last year. Travis Hunter, those guys.
Yeah, they have leverage already.
Yeah, so like it's going to be very interesting to see how the NFL moves in this like capacity because if truth be told, the NFL has moved on like dang near like a plantation type system, So it's going to be very interesting to see what they do, how they move, seeing that these like players have a lot of power. Like we've already seen that power struggle with Shadur and his situation of the colluding against him, I think, personally. But it's going to be interesting, like, the Nikos that come out of Tennessee, well, he's at UCLA now. When he comes out, he's dang near a millionaire at this point. Like, those guys are going to want like different leverage. They're going to have a different type of leverage. So it's interesting to see.
Yeah. So TBD.
But that's all I want to go with minicamp.
Okay.
I just want to shout out my Neo.
Throw the hooks up for him one time. You not gonna yell? You're not gonna do it?
Nah. I drank too much. Oh. I ain't got no voice.
Oh, I was gonna do it for you.
No. I hate you. Well, man, we can move on, man. There's been a lot of, literally, I've been outside trying to watch the game, so.
Yeah, so NBA playoffs.
NBA playoffs.
Let's talk about that a little bit. So we got the Celtics and Knicks series, which right now the Celtics are. The Knicks are up 2-1. Celtics got a big dub last night. Finally, they blew them out.
Yeah.
In Madison Square Garden. So that was good. I actually didn't get to watch the game, unfortunately, because I was coaching. But I'm interested to see how Game 4 goes because what has happened a lot of times is the Celtics have been up majority of those games, and then the fourth quarter, the Knicks just really punch the gas and take it home. So yesterday was funny. My boy O, who's a big Celtics fan, he was looking at the score before we about to play our second game.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Is this safe? Is this safe?" Because they were up. I'm like, "Bro, like it's fourth quarter. They
it's
like
over
20,
with. Yeah.
25. It's 4 minutes left. Like, yeah, man,
it's over with.
It should be good." He's like, I don't know. But I mean, that's just what the Knicks have been able to do. So we'll see what adjustments are made on both sides coming into Game 4. But what?
Tatum is showing why he would never be the face of the league.
Yeah, we had this conversation.
We did.
You were saying like he could be the guy, and I'm like, he gives off soft sometimes.
He's not the guy.
Why not? What made you change your mind? How did we arrive here?
He just doesn't have that. You said something earlier today, and it's very much like he doesn't have the dog mentality. Not only does he not have the dog mentality, I don't think he has what it takes to will his team to victory. Like when you watch that, like Game 2 with the Knicks in Boston, you literally watched Jalen Brunson have the worst game in the first three. I think he had like 11 points. In that fourth quarter, like he literally was able to turn it on to get his team to where they needed to be.
He made plays when his
team.
And Mikal Bridges stepped up big in that
he did.
fourth quarter as well.
Bro, Mikal Bridges pisses me off sometimes because like I'm like, bro, stop shooting threes. Like you're gonna shoot them out of coming back sometimes.
Yeah.
But he will shoot you into it though.
Right, that's his game though. So yeah, I think the biggest thing with Jason Tatum and I just saw an interview while we were breaking there with him last night after the game, and they were talking about the criticism that he receives and all this kind of stuff, and he was just like, you have to, take that stuff on when you're that guy. Is what he said, when you're that guy. And I'm like, my boy,
you're not that guy.
You're not that guy.
You're not.
But he wants to be that guy, and I think like eventually maybe he could be there. He still, I don't think, could ever be the face of the league because he doesn't consistently take over a game. Where like you want to be in conversations with Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. Like there was a point in time that you could always point out with all three of those guys.
Yeah.
Even Steph is in that conversation where you could vividly say like they were on a tear where they were just taking over games and they were willing their teams to win just single-handedly.
I can see that.
Like it was scary.
Nobody
fears Jason.
Nobody fears him as a guy that if they're down 20, he's gonna like say, I'm putting the team on my back to get you 30.
Or even like being in the fourth and down a bucket.
Yeah.
Like the other night, and I'm jumping in the air. You never jump in the air to create a pass. You can jump in the air to make a pass, but it's like basketball one-on-one, and he's over here trying to get rid of it because he's trying to get to his little step back and all of that shit until you try to go to JB. But my thing is like you already fumbling the ball trying to get to the spot. It's like, bro, just get downhill, get to the rim.
Get to the rim.
He's always trying to get to a three or a pull-up, bro. Like, get to the rim.
I think it was one play in that Game 2 game. I watched some of because I was like really like kind of like intermingling, but I wasn't able to watch like majority of like Game 3. But Game 2, like in the fourth quarter, he had like one of those plays where it was like maybe like 30 seconds left, and he was able to get to the rack and like bypass everybody.
They moved out of the way like Moses.
Literally, yeah.
Part of the Red Sea.
It's just like I want to see him be that aggressive at all times. Yeah. Now I saw I can't remember. I'm about to really start plugging in like when I see these videos who like post these videos. There was an argument is if he could be better than KD, because if you think about it, they both are tall, lanky guys that can shoot the three, but also they were like, is he more of a KD or a Paul George? Because he has the skill set to be KD. But in big game like situations, he's Paul George.
He's giving Paul George.
Yeah. Which is crazy because Paul George is a guy that's like not really athletic, but he can get to his spots. Yeah. Jason Tatum is a lot
more athletic.
A lot more athletic.
Yeah, I give him more Paul George than Kevin Durant. Like Kevin Durant got some killer in him too. Like You know, he's just been unfortunate with injuries.
Injuries,
and
yeah.
teams that he's been on, whatever the case may be. But Jason, my boy, he needs Jaylen Brown.
I think
needs help.
I think I've said that Jaylen Brown is the guy. Phone home. He said phone home.
Yeah, I love Jaylen Brown, but I think like the organization feels that it has to be like Jason Tatum, but you should be able to see Jaylen Brown can do it. He did it last year, but he's also been battling injuries and stuff like that too. He doesn't quite look like himself at times too, or consistently, I should say. None of them really do.
No,
none of them do.
I think he's also fighting that like media darling. He is what I consider pro-black.
Oh, very pro-black.
Very pro-black, and I don't think the league too much cares for that kind of image.
That's why he made the Olympic team.
I think so too.
Because I said this before, and you tried to just totally. I don't know what word I'm looking for right now, but you totally just tried to disregard what I was saying.
Argumentative.
I was like, I'm taking Jaylen Brown over Jason Tatum on the Olympic team. You were like, what? No. Are you kidding me?
No.
Jason Tatum? And now look what you're saying. One thing about it, I'm going to make that walk back.
I will say that
Flip it in reverse.
I will say that I was a bit argumentative in those moments, but you're right.
Thank you. That's all I needed to hear. Moving on.
Did I say I hate
Cleveland and the Pacers. So Cavaliers and Pacers series.
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell has been hooping the whole damn time.
Coco
they finally got a
Jones,
win.
she was like, hey baby, I need you to turn it on.
Right.
I need you to
Coco
turn it on
said
tonight.
it's on site.
He said it's on site.
Yeah, that's one of her songs on the album.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, so it's plug.
You could. There you go.
No, but anyway, Donovan Mitchell has been hooping the whole time. They finally got the dub. Looking forward to seeing if they can tie it up tonight.
Yeah.
Because, and you know what's crazy, man?
Talk to me.
Freaking Tyrese Haliburton hits that shot at the end in game 2.
Yeah.
Right? And does a little cojones dance, like he got the big cojones, right?
Did he get fined for that?
I
Or
don't
was
know.
it a warning?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But then game 3, that boy didn't even score double digits. You can't be walking around like,
Lockdown.
doing that type of celebration, and then you get the clamps put on you in game 3.
Lockdown.
And Donovan Mitchell goes for 40 plus, bruh. That's why they be saying you overrated. You got. If you gonna do that, you better be popping your shit the whole series.
Hey, you better be careful because if we put this clip out, you know he might hit you up in the DMs.
Hit me.
Call me.
I'm just saying, it is what it is. Like
I like Ty. I like his game. I hate the way he shoots. He has a weird jump shot.
everybody hates the way he shoots, but I mean he can hoop. But I'm just like, bro, if you gonna big cojones out here, you better show them big cojones all 7 games and take it to that.
Facts.
That's all.
But I think he has a rebound game this week. This game today.
Tonight?
Yeah.
We shall see.
Y'all didn't know the outcome tomorrow, but yeah, I think he gonna ball out tonight.
We'll see.
Yeah.
See. I think Donovan Mitchell gonna keep putting that hammer on him.
I don't think so.
I think he is.
I think he'll try.
I think he'll keep putting that hammer on him. Matter of fact, I might have to put a parlay in.
Go ahead. You know, I haven't bet. I've literally have not bet in a while. I think I'm gonna stay away from
I
that.
took a break for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Because I was like, these playoffs are really getting tricky.
Who else?
So we got also the Wolves and the Warriors.
That would be like technically Monday night, or is that tonight?
Tonight.
Today? For real?
Tonight, I think. Yeah.
Who's up on that? Is it 1-1 or?
It's 1-1.
Okay.
So Steph Curry's out, and they say Steph Curry probably won't be back until Game 6
He probably won't be back to the next series.
if they get out of this series. Because right now, the way they looked the other night without him,
It was bad.
it was like,
No, I think at this point it's about to get
It's disarray.
it's about to get ugly. I think Timberwolves about to take this.
come on, Ant-Man,
Batman,
something.
Ant-Man. No, I don't know.
said.
Whatever they said.
Wolves and 5.
Wolves and 5.
Nah, we'll see though, because Jimmy Butler
Batman.
in the
Boogeyman.
playoffs is a different beast, but he wasn't looking like himself either. I'm like, boys, where y'all at?
'Cause they
I'm
don't-
at my boys though. I want the Wolves to win, but I'm just like,
they
Jimmy
don't have
Butler.
that. They don't have a guy like Steph Curry is a point guard, but he literally runs around all the time.
Yeah, he's highly conditioned. Oh,
Yeah.
it'll be tomorrow. The game's tomorrow.
Yeah, I was about to say it should be today.
Cavs, Pacers tonight, and then Nuggets, Thunder tomorrow. I mean tonight.
Yeah.
Nuggets, Thunder tonight. Yeah.
Monday night is a Timberwolves game.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. But I it's going to be very interesting to see them without Steph Curry because he spreads the floor a lot. He's able to run around. And you could tell that Buddy is not a focal point when Curry's out there, he's able to play his game. But
but when he's not, they gotta
struggle.
put clamps on him. So
yeah,
we'll see how they do, man. If Steve Kerr can make some adjustments and get the boys rolling, but I think it's hard because most of the first years against the Rockets, he didn't play some of those dudes coming off the bench, right?
Yeah.
And so now you gotta lean on them a little bit because you're trying to do it by committee. And they struggled a little bit. But I think that was their first game, though. Yeah. And so we'll see how they are once they get back home in their environment. They're going to play better at home, I would assume. I agree. So who knows how that game will go. I think it's going to be a toss-up.
And that, stadium is going to jump.
Yeah, they're going to go crazy.
They're going to go crazy. So
for sure. They show out. Now, Thunder and Nuggets. The Nuggets are up 2-1 against my boy SGA in the game. Oh. They need to come with it. Them boys hooping.
They are.
And when I say them boys, really, Aaron Gordon.
Going crazy.
They was talking about how he put a gym in his house to really hone in on his skills so he could be a better shooter. And that just showed you, when you're committed to the work, things will pay off for you.
The dividends come.
Yep.
I will say, he reminds me of a modern day, Iguodala. Very athletic. They play very stiff.
He can shoot better than Iggy right now.
Nah, facts. Oh my goodness.
That boy been flamethrowing.
I hate how he plays, but he's been very efficient.
He's been very efficient, very effective for the Nuggets, and truly they don't win without him.
Yeah.
This whole playoff run right now. I mean, shout out to Jokic. He gonna do he
gonna do his thing. Yeah.
But I need the Thunder to come on, man. They were already trying to doubt y'all because y'all young. They saying, SGA not gonna get the same calls, this, that, and the third. And I
They've been letting them boys play.
I just want to see them go at it. SGA, this is how you about to get your MVP, my boy.
Yeah.
Come on, strap up, let's go, get right.
I think this is. But could you agree to say that this is just the lights are just too bright for them right now?
No, I don't want to say that.
You don't want to, but I
think you're going against a lot of
experience.
The Nuggets have playoff experience. They have championship experience.
Caliber, yeah.
And even without the coach that they've had the whole time, Mike Malone, they're coaching each other. I think that's what's been fun to see. And
Jokic is literally yelling.
Yeah, Jokic, but even Russell Westbrook, he's sitting down in the coach's chair talking and stuff like that. They are coaching each other to victory. And I think it's really difficult to beat a team like that. They are truly a team through and through where they're going to war for each other. You can see it.
Yeah.
And so I think for the Thunder, it's going to be tough because they don't have that experience to rely on.
They don't.
To make those kind of adjustments and stuff like that. They truly rely on their staff. And so it's going to be interesting. And a lot of that staff that's with the Nuggets right now, they were part of those winning teams too, part of those playoff runs. So there's experience on the floor and on the bench.
Playoff pedigree, yeah.
So, yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how things play out, but I'm hoping the Thunder can tie it up tonight. Come on now.
Come on, hey,
let's go, boy.
Thunder
up.
Figure it out. Hey, before we get off men's basketball, let's talk about a legend in the game, Paul Pierce. So you seen that he said something earlier this week of why black men go to white women. I don't know exactly because I don't have my phone.
Oh.
But
he basically said that black men date white women because they are more understanding and they listen more and not as argumentative and stuff like that, basically. And when he get on, he leave up for a white girl.
I'm not gonna say it's true, but what I will say is that I think that stereotype.
It is a stereotype.
The stereotype all black women in that way is insane. Now, do I think that what is portrayed on TV, what you see in certain areas, yeah, there are women that are argumentative, but I've dealt with white women that are argumentative.
The people that say that the most are black men that only date white women anyway.
But I will say that white women are cool. Would I date another white woman? No.
Have y'all seen Get Out? I actually never seen Get Out.
I was about to say, I dated a white woman when Get Out came out.
I just don't think that. I think for black men dating white women is very tricky, and I feel like it's always been tricky.
It depends on your why.
Okay.
My fault. Keep going.
So no, what whys? Or
I don't like black men that say, "Oh, I only date white women because of the stereotypical things that black women portray." Now, if you I met a white woman, she was cool, and we like the same things. Like we were
Y'all
like
vibe.
aligned, we vibe. So like I didn't see color. But now if I dated that white woman,
Don't say that.
I saw color. I saw color.
Come on
I
now, be for real. I
All
can't
right.
let you get that off.
All right. There's one thing in life I will be, and that's for real. But nah, like, but I didn't look at her like, oh, she's white. That's like my type. You know what I'm saying? I looked at her like, oh, she's
That's
cool.
the woman I'm attracted to. Or,
Yeah. But like, if I would have been one of those ones that's like, after I dated her, like, oh, I'm only dating white women. I don't like those kind of people. I give everybody a chance, other than men, because I'm not gay.
But he's an ally. I knew he was about to do it. I was just waiting. Just waiting on it.
Nah, but I will say that, like, what he said is very, like, misogynistic. And I don't like the fact that, like, I don't like when black men and women bash each other.
Right.
I don't like that at all.
Doesn't he have kids?
Yeah.
And are they black?
I don't know.
I feel like they are.
I'm sure
Not 100% on this, but it's also like, you came from a black woman too.
Yeah.
So why would you say that? And I think that's where I struggle too when black men say stuff like that, because it's like, who did you come from? You came from a black woman. You have black aunties, black grandmas, black sisters, all these different things. So I think you should change your viewpoint or like your outlook on these black women and what they can offer.
Yeah.
You know, or what dating them is like. You know
I can
what
see
mean?
that.
Yeah.
And I also think that, like, when dating a black woman, there's a lot more expectation. Not saying that white women don't expect more from you. I do think that, like, there's a lot more expectation just based off of, like, what, like, the black, like, experience, like,
black
is.
love is
Yeah,
supposed
black
to look
love
like,
is.
and the black father figures and just
Yeah.
different things that come up culturally.
Yeah, I think our experiences like prove for us to like expect more, but a lot of black men have been babied by their moms. Like, you know, like I come from a single parent mom. Like my mom literally like to this day like tries to like attempt to baby me, so I have to force myself like, yo, chill. You know what I'm saying? I got to do what I got to do. But there are a lot of men that expect that from women now that are being taught to be more independent, self-sufficient, and they're looking for men that like, look, I'm here. I need you to meet me where I'm at too.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to sit here and baby you like your mom did. So like, a lot of men are going to women that are a bit more submissive, and.
But I do think that black women have a nurturing qualities.
It depends.
But you also have to show them that they can give you that. We can go really
We can go deep in that.
We're
We're not
going
gonna
to
say that.
for another day.
But we will say, Paul Pierce, you're an asshole. Like, you shouldn't say that about black women.
Right.
I think
especially on such a platform that he has. Like,
there are white women that are argumentative. I literally talked about it on the podcast last week. Girl literally twerking, and I told her she's ratchet, and she got mad and was ready to argue and fight. Which, I mean, I don't equate that to being a black trait. She's from West Virginia. I just say that's trailer trash, but.
All right, moving on from that.
She really pissed me off.
Moving on from
She really pissed me off because that was racist.
WNBA. Here we go.
We might cut that.
So, Asia Wilson, let's shout out her for the 803, my hometown.
Yes,
You know
sir.
what I mean? Also rep the Ville too.
Yes, sir.
But
864.
I was born in the 803. So shout out to Asia Wilson, whose shoes dropped the A1s this past Wednesday.
Yep.
And they sold out in 3 minutes. And then they hit the
Crazy.
stores, and they were sold out everywhere in the stores too.
Yep.
And so the blue ones come out next week. I'm hoping and praying that I can get those. I want those so bad.
I think I might get those too, though.
I was good on
Those
the
are
pink,
fire.
but I want the blue ones for
Yeah.
sure. For sure. Give me the blueberries.
Hey,
Or
shout out to
whatever.
Bam Adebayo, like literally, like
Yeah. Showing up for
all
his
the
girl.
all the love he's showing.
Yeah. But there's a lot of people in the league been wearing the shoe. Don Staley came to AE one night, so they had an A1 night with the Las Vegas Aces.
She really flexed
Earlier
those
this
blue
week.
ones.
Yeah, she
flex-
did flex
Everybody
those.
got the pink, but she got
Yeah.
the blue, and she flexed those.
But what the Las Vegas Aces did for her on that night was phenomenal. They gave people in the crowd T-shirts. They had a whole photo shoot station set up. It just did different stuff throughout the night. And then in the store, I think like the main flagship of like Foot Locker in Las Vegas, they set up a whole A1 section.
Oh, that's
that
dope.
was pretty dope.
That's dope.
So just with all her merch and gear, just all the shoes, the same, you name it, it was all there. So that was cool to see, and just the different commercials that they've dropped since that really tap into the culture, tap into her childhood, and the streets of Columbia too. Like if you're from there and you see it, like it looks so familiar and it feels so real because they shot it there. They had the dancers in the original commercial were actually dancers of Benedict College, I think.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. Like it was truly an 803 feel, so we loved that.
And shout out to Sasha Obama. She actually directed one.
No, was it Sasha or Malia?
The oldest one is Sasha, isn't it?
Oh, one of them. The oldest one, though.
The oldest one, the oldest Obama daughter. Shout out to you. She directed one of the ones. Yeah. I think it was the one where she's sitting on the porch doing the little
patty cake, but it was like Asia Wilson's on top. Can't take a spot. Yeah, I've just randomly been singing that throughout the week.
Really?
Actually, yeah.
You know, we know you're an Asia fan. Stan.
Through and through.
Nah,
through and through. That's my dog.
It's Stan.
I don't even know her personally, but that's my dog.
Yeah, we're gonna have you on the podcast one day. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We're gonna be there.
All right, so let's talk about preseason matchups because the WNBA is back, and it starts this Friday. So we're gonna run through some of the matchups that are gonna happen and that you guys should be looking out for.
I promise I'm locking in this year.
That's what he said, y'all. Let's hold him accountable to this.
I'm locking in this year. I need to know what's going on.
What starts off here?
I think it's the Dream and the Mystics. That's the first game.
Dream and the Mystics, which the Dream, I'm hoping that they sign my girl Pao Pao from South Carolina. She has been playing her butt off since the preseason started. She was hooping yesterday in their game against the Fever. Yep. She was hooping. So hoping she gets signed to that roster. But anyway, the Dream, that should be a good matchup going against the Mystics. Obviously, the Mystics are very young and short-handed, but I still feel like that'll be a good opening night of basketball there, just seeing what the Dream looked like in totality and some of those rookies that got drafted to the Mystics.
Yeah.
Then next we have the Minnesota Lynx versus the Dallas Wings. Now that should be a show as well because on the Lynx, obviously they made it to they're the runner-ups in the championship game last year against the Liberty, or championship series, I should say. So you got Nafisa Collier, who I believe could possibly be the MVP this year, if not Asia Wilson.
She played crazy in Unrivaled.
Yeah, she played crazy in Unrivaled. She did her thing. They still had Courtney Williams and the other surrounding cast that made them as great as they were last year, like Kayla McBride and some of those other shooters and heavy hitters they got. So looking forward to seeing that. And then obviously with the Dallas Wings, you got Enrique. You got Paige Beckers, who everybody's excited to see that duo, and then the other additions that they made with Dejanay Carrington, Nalasia Smith, and just seeing how their roster kind of shape up with the rookies that they signed to. So
went very defensive with these pickups.
Looking forward to that. And then you got the Spark. We got an in-state competition here with the Sparks and the Valkyries. So and it's at the Valkyries, so that'll be cool to see, what their fan base looks like.
Where's the Valkyrie?
It's in Golden State. So.
Oh, okay, Golden State Valkyrie.
Yeah, so it'll be really cool to kind of see, how they show up and show out for that. And then the new look of the Sparks with Kelsey Plum and, whoever they decide to keep on their roster as well.
Oh, what's her name? Rakia's been balling.
Yeah, Rakia gonna do what Rakia
Yeah, she's doing work in the preseason.
Yeah.
I like that.
And then Saturday,
will Cam be back? Or?
Cam won't be back yet. She's getting there, but I don't think she'll be back for the first.
Okay.
And then Saturday, huge matchup here on the East Coast. The Las Vegas Aces at the New York Liberty. That's always a battle. So we'll get to see the core four of the Aces with the Asia Wilson, Jewel Lloyd, Jackie Young, and Chelsea Gray. And then, whoever they decide to keep with their rookies too. Are they going to keep Aaliyah Nye? I think she's a lock. Are they going to keep Deja Kelly? Can they keep Deja Kelly?
Can they keep her? That's the question.
And then some of the other people. So,
what's up with everybody getting cut? Like, even Bree Hall got cut. I thought she would have been a really good, addition defensively.
Yeah, I think.
Why do they do
that? That was a good fit for her in Indiana, but, it just didn't work out. She didn't do enough, I guess. It's not enough.
But, there's another girl, I think there was another girl that got cut. There's a lot of people that got cut.
Yeah, a lot of people getting cut.
Everybody.
It's gonna be some more people get cut this week before those games start this weekend. So it's part of it. But I think Bree Hall has the opportunity to get picked up by somebody else.
Yeah.
Like Cheyenne Sellers, she was cut from the Valkyries.
That's what I was thinking of. That was a first round pick. That was their first round pick, wasn't it? Yeah.
But she got picked up by the Dream. And so, we'll see what happens if she's able to make that roster or what happens there. But I think they'll figure it out.
Yeah,
they'll figure it out.
I think the WNBA is like the only league you could get drafted in the first round and you're still not safe.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But, I think next year will be better once they add in those new teams and stuff like that. Obviously, with the Liberty, you got Breonna Stewart, Sabrina Ionescu, and Natasha Howard and those people. So we'll see how they look. They also got, Natasha Cloud now and some other bodies. So it'll be interesting to see how that all comes together. Also on Saturday, huge game.
Which one?
Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark. So Chicago versus Indiana. Both teams look a lot different than they did last year. So that's going to be on ABC, actually. And so is the Las Vegas Aces and Liberty game. So the Aces game at 1, and then the Chicago Sky and the Fever at 3.
I really think they need to hype that, to be...
Oh, they're going to hype it up all week.
I was about to say, that rivalry, it's a friendly rivalry. But I really feel like it should be like the Larry Bird and Magic Johnson of women, of the WNBA.
Huh? One of them is not as skilled as the other.
Yeah, but that angle. Yeah, I was about to say that angle is still it's going to draw more people in.
Yeah, I think that's what they're doing, though.
Yeah.
So they're going to come up. So we'll see how that goes. And then we got Seattle Storm versus the Phoenix Mercury. I think that's going to be a great matchup, too. Those teams look different than last year, have picked up some great bodies. And then it rounds out, on Sunday, Monday. It's just going to keep going.
It's a whole lot of games, man.
Whole lot of games,
needless
to say. So y'all plug into that, support women's basketball. It's going to be some great matchups. The landscape of the WNBA looks so different this year with, different trades, different offseason signings, rookies that are now going to make rosters and stuff like that. So if you follow them in college, follow them now.
Yep.
And plug into them because it's going to be a awesome season.
We definitely we've already talked about it. We discussed it. We're going to make our way to Indiana because we are really huge fans of Caitlin Clark.
I never said I was going to Indiana, and I'm not a huge fan of Caitlin Clark.
We're big fans.
No. I do plan to go to Dallas though.
Dallas.
Aces versus Dallas. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe.
Let's just go to Vegas.
Maybe.
My little brother's gonna be in Vegas this summer, so I might go out there catch a game.
I'm not mad at that. I would love to be in the Las Vegas Aces environment too. But that's it, man.
Hey, this was a good pod.
It seemed like a long ass pod. So if you stayed this long, we appreciate you.
We love you.
But we appreciate you guys plugging into us. Make sure you follow us on TikTok, Instagram, subscribe to us on YouTube, and keep plugging in each week. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, plug.